American Top 40, number 30.
Here now from England at number 30, moving up 10 notches, the Pet Shop Boys with their first chart single in the U.S., a recent number one song in England, West End Girls. From England, the Pet Shop Boys. They move in their second week from number 40 to number 30 with their first chart single. Went to number one in England, and it's called West End Girls.
Casey's Coast to Coast. Coast to Coast. American Top 40.
The numbers get smaller as the hits get bigger. At number 4 is the recent number one smash West End Girls by the Pet Shop Boys. When we asked them where they got their name, the answer was simple. Neil Tennant told us they had some friends who worked in a London pet shop. When those guys would show up at a party, people would say, "Look, here come the Pet Shop Boys." And Neil Tennant and Chris Lowe took it for their name. Their song at number 4 is West End Girls. The Pet Shop Boys fall from number 2 to number 4 with their recent number one song, West End Girls.
Casey's Coast to Coast.
At number 10 is the Pet Shop Boys, a duo known for dance tunes, or what used to be called disco music. The boys say they know disco is a dreaded word these days, but they don't care. Neil Tennant said, quote, "In America, all the critics say they hate disco. Well, we go around and say that we're a disco group, just to stir things up, you know." End of quote. Okay, here's the English disco group, the Pet Shop Boys, with their disco hit, It's a Sin. It's a Sin. The Pet Shop Boys up a notch to number 10. Their 3 top 40 hits have all made the top 10 now, including the number one from 1986, West End Girls. We're hearing the 40 biggest hits of the week according to the official nationwide survey of Billboard magazine. This is American Top 40. I'm Casey Kasem, and the countdown continues.
American Top 40. All day, all day.
We're at another rowdy, rambunctious run up the Billboard chart. I'm Shadoe Stevens. Here are two guys who met at a stereo store, or as they sometimes call it in England, a hi-fi shop. They're Neil Tennant and Chris Lowe, the Pet Shop Boys. Neil told us, "We met in London in a hi-fi shop on King's Road. I was having a part made for my synthesizer, and while they were welding it, Chris was buying something. We just started talking about synthesizers. A few days later, he came out to see me. That was 7 years ago." Now the Pet Shop Boys are in the countdown with their 6th top 40 hit. Up 2 notches to number 24, it's Domino Dancing.
I don't know what.
Neil Tennant and Chris Lowe, the Pet Shop Boys. They climbed 2 notches this week to number 24 with Domino Dancing. Their last time in the countdown was back in May, and they hit number 4 with Always on My Mind.
American Top 40.
Based on a special tabulation of the official Billboard chart, these are the 40 top newcomers of the 80s, and we're counting them down.
Number 26.
This act began when a pop music writer for an English magazine, Smash Hits, looked around at the stars he was writing about and thought, "I can do that." One day he wandered into a stereo shop and met a musician working there, Chris Lowe. And in 1984, Neil Tennant left pop journalism to make pop music with Chris as the Pet Shop Boys. Now Neil Tennant, former interviewer, is the one being interviewed. He says it's simply an embarrassment trying to describe what you're doing because you start saying all the really dumb and ridiculous things pop stars used to say to you. End of quote. That turnabout's made the Pet Shop Boys one of the top new acts of the 80s. They're at number 26. Here's the smash from 1986 that became their first hit and reached number 1, West End Girls.
Sometimes you're better off dead.
West End Girls by Neil Tennant and Chris Lowe, the Pet Shop Boys. A few stories behind that name. They say they had friends who worked in a London pet shop, but they also say they wanted a name that sounded like a New York City type of hip-hop rap and dance act. Either way, the Pet Shop Boys are the 26th most popular new act of the 80s.
The hits from coast to coast.